Good evening. I'm Heather, and today's chalice lighting is from Lisa Doge. For the new year, just days old, beginning today, always beginning, we light our chalice, symbol of faith, perseverance, and hope, in astonished thanksgiving and irrepressible praise. For beginnings that emerge out of endings, appear amidst continuity, become visible in hindsight. We light our chalice, symbol of faith, perseverance, and hope, in astonished thanksgiving and irrepressible praise, for all the times and all of the ways we have begun anew together. We light our chalice, symbol of faith, perseverance, and hope, in astonished thanksgiving and irrepressible praise.
So Matt shared that we'll be doing a little reflecting tonight, and I want to make sure you all have the tools that we're going to use for reflecting. So hopefully on your chair you found a sheet of paper, notebook paper, an envelope, and a tiny little piece of paper that seems like it might be special. And if you did not receive those, you can raise your hand, and we'll make sure they get to you, or you can go to the welcome table in the back. And a writing utensil. You should also have gotten a writing utensil. We begin with a reading. This is A Blessing as 2026 Approaches by the Reverend Hannah Roberts Villeneuve. It's time to take stock of the year, of the wins and losses, of the love and the grief. But how can I sing praises for a year like this one? How can I give thanks for a year like this one? Somehow we have to, even this year, especially this year. This year when babies were born and first steps were taken and first words were said and first bites of cake were smashed and first books were read and first crushes were requited or not, and first homes were built, and first recitals were danced, our hearts burst with praise. Even this year, especially this year. This year when our neighbors trembled in fear, when abductions were treated like theater, when healthcare was treated like a bargaining chip, when the hungry were somehow the villains, when soldiers were sent to streets that had no need of them, when people finally said that we will not see our neighbors go hungry, we will not see our neighbors disappear without a trace. We're breaking our hearts open with gratitude, even this year, especially this year. This year when we count down to midnight, this year when we find someone to grab by the collar and kiss. This year when we fall asleep at 8:45 because it's been that kind of year. May we resolve to sing praises for the life we make together, even this year, especially this year.
So ever since I was in high school, I have grappled with how I want to mark the new year. A combination of marking the passing of time, wanting it to really mean something, wanting to feel like I had grown in the right ways, whatever that means, or set the most meaningful intentions, really, really integrated and reflected on the passing of time. And somehow, I wanted to be sure that I had extracted the most amount of meaning I could from a secularized holiday whose focus on partying and resolution setting never quite felt like it offered the framework for meaning making, kind of like Matt was talking about earlier. So in high school, I used to make my close friends do these elaborate and formal reflections around the new year. And nobody was surprised when I became a minister. But I really love the ritual that we're going to share in tonight because I think it offers some of that space that, looking back, I had been longing for over the years. This year, though, I felt so apathetic about the new year. When I first read the reading from Reverend Hannah Roberts Villeneuve, the part of it that said, this year when we fall asleep at 8:45 because it's been that kind of year, I was like, oh yeah, that's me. 2025 was a hard year to be living in the world, friends. It was really hard. And if I'm being honest, I hate to say it though, I anticipate that 2026 will be hard too. But I also have to remember that 2025 was not all hard. There were so many moments of beauty and love and connection and joy. And there will be those moments in this year to come too.
And so today, we take this time for reflection, for remembering the beauty and the challenge of this past year, and preparing us for the beauty and challenge of the year ahead. Like any new beginning, the turning of one year to the next can feel quite arbitrary, but there is nonetheless something very powerful about these liminal times. They invite us to pause and take stock, to remember what is important to us, and to set intentions for the time ahead of us. Here in this present moment, in this suspension between past and future, this cusp, a new year's beginning, we thought we might take as our traveling companion the ancient Roman god Janus, the god who looks forward and looks back, the god of beginnings and endings, the god of doorways. Today, we will share in a ritual that will allow us to take some time to look both forward and backward, like Janus. We will open our hands to let go of what we want to leave behind in the old year, and we'll open our hearts to what we want to carry with us into the new year. So let's take a few moments now. Settle yourself into your chair. Find a comfortable position for you. Maybe you want to close your eyes or find something nondescript, maybe a flame to stare at. And take a moment to breathe. Let the breath go in and out of the door of your body. And start by thinking about this year that has gone by, 2025. What was beautiful about this year? What was hard this year? What did you learn in 2025? What did you lose? What is it that you want to be sure to hold on to from this year? What do you need to let go of? What is it that you hope won't follow you into this new year? What do you want to change moving forward? Now let's think about this year to come, still full of possibility. What intentions do you have for how you want to live this year? What do you hope about who you will become? What do you want to let in to your life, to make more space for? What might you need to give a little less space to this year? How can you nurture the very best version of yourself in the year to come? Holding all of that in your hearts, let's take a few more mindful breaths together.
So we're going to start with the past. There may be things from the past year that you would like to let go of in entering the coming one. Maybe they're the things that don't serve you well or aren't good for you. Maybe they've been wonderful, but their time is over now. Maybe they're things you don't want to get rid of, but you know you need to. Whatever they are, hold them in your heart for a moment. Those things that belong to the old year and not the new one. In a moment, we're going to invite you to write it on your small piece of paper. If you're online and you received a packet in the mail for this service, the smaller piece of paper in there is what we'll use now. And if you did not receive a packet and you're joining us online, any piece of paper will do. And when you're done, we're going to hold on to the piece of paper for now, and we'll come back to it later in the service. Mark David's going to play for about 2 minutes as you write. It can just be a few short words or phrases and symbolic of whatever it is that you want to be letting go of.
This new year will bring new challenges, new joys, and new times with people and places you already know well. What do you want to have with you in this new year? What will you need to gather? Or what do you already have that you want to make sure to keep as you move forward? We're going to take 8 minutes now to write a letter to your future self on that big sheet of paper, the one with lines. If you're here in person today, we'll send your letter to you this spring. If you're joining us online, you can write a letter on the piece of paper we mailed to you, or if you didn't receive a packet, any piece of paper will do. Tuck your letter away somewhere and make sure you set a reminder to yourself to open it on May 1st. In your letter, remind your future self, what intentions do you have for how you want to live this year? What growth, lessons, experiences, transformations from the last year do you want to hold on to? And what do you want to let into your life this year? When you're done, you can put it into the envelope that you should also have and address it to yourself so we can mail it. You can go ahead and write your letter now. I'll let you know when you have 1 minute left.
So be aware now that we are in the presence of the Ancient of Ancients, the doorway. People have been building doorways for as long as they have been creating shelter, collecting food, and leaving for journeys. Doorways mark shelter and safety, going out and coming in, a fresh start, a new beginning. They are the place from where we change from inside to outside, from home to away, from traveler to guest. Doorways mark endings and beginnings all at once.
We find ourselves in the doorway of the year this evening. One year is ending and another is beginning, but we are not fully in the new year, not entirely out of the old. We are in between years, the week where you always get the date wrong. Like the Roman god Janus, we look both ahead and behind simultaneously. He is the dweller on the threshold, a divinity presiding over the change point of a building and the change point of in many lives. The month of January is named for him. It's the month of you moving from one year to another. Janus, god of beginnings and endings, reminds us that we always have a chance to begin again. In a moment, I'll invite you not just to think about the animating power of the doorway, the concept of this being who looks both forward and backward. I'll invite you to experience moving through a doorway yourself, here. I invite you to move into something new and out of something old.
So on this side of the door, the past, there's a candle. And before you go through the doorway, and if you're here in person, we invite you to light your piece of paper, symbolic of the release of that which you choose to let go from the last year. This piece of paper that you got in person is known as flash paper or magician's paper. And it is extremely flammable, but also quite safe, and it will light very quickly and burn without ash or smoke. So I recommend that you fold it a few times, so it's kind of small. You want to light it? Oh, I guess I could. And then when you light it, light one side and then kind of pull it away from the flame. One of us will also be here at the front if you would prefer to have us light it instead. If you're joining online, what you got was, and you received a packet, what you got was dissolving paper. Do not try to light it on fire. But if you get a cup of water or other vessel, you can dissolve it in the water, and we invite you to stir or otherwise let your paper and your past dissolve away. And if you did not receive either of those, I invite you to destroy your paper in whatever way is feasible in your location.
On the other side of the doorway, that side, over there in the future, there's a basket for your letter to your future self. Carry it with you into the new year and leave your self-addressed letter there, and we'll mail it to you this spring. Then you can go back to your seat. If you are online, we invite you to maybe find a doorway in your home if you've got one. You may want to either find a doorway or take a moment to close your eyes and imagine yourself on a threshold. Imagine moving through that doorway, and then stash away that letter and make sure you remind yourself to open it on May 1st.
So we're now going to invite you to move through the doorway either here or at home. And if you're joining us in person, what we're going to do is we're going to have everybody sort of come around by the wall and then light their flash paper and then through the doorway this way and back to wherever you're sitting. So we invite you to take a breath as you pause on this threshold, the threshold between past and future, here in this present moment. And when everyone who wishes to has gone through the doorway, we will share a blessing. We invite you to find a space to share this doorway ritual now. Friends, as we enter into a new year, may what weighs us down be lessened. May we release those things that are holding us back from living our fullest lives, and may we carry forward with us all that helps us thrive. May we open ourselves to all that the future has to offer. May it be so, and amen.